Hi, my name is Erin Laundrie, and I'm the founder of Bottomless Bricks in Pittsfield. Bottomless Bricks is a hub for LEGO fans of all ages. Our retail store sells new and pre-owned LEGO sets, collectible minifigures, and parts and pieces for your next creation. We also host birthday parties, workshops, and community events for builders of all ages and abilities. And our mission is to promote creativity, community, and ingenuity. I started Bottomless Bricks back in 2018 as a way to try to encourage my family's passion for Lego and share it with other people in the community. I started out by doing birthday parties where I would show up at people's homes with about 75 pounds of Lego bricks, a racing ramp, and a minifigure factory, which is minifigures are Lego people. And I would show up to people's homes, we'd play with Lego for an hour, and at the end, every kid would build a minifigure to take home. After about a year of doing that, I got the feedback that I should have my own space to host parties, so that's when I began looking for a storefront. And I ended up finding one on Park Street in Adams back in 2019, and we opened our doors mid-October of 2019. And we were doing really well. We were having builds of the month, Lego Club. Had a bunch of folks who were coming in, and we found that the business was really resonating with the community. And then the world shut down in March 2020. And everyone stopped having birthday parties. We had to close up shop and just temporarily pause the business, but I stayed engaged with it on the back end. So in the beginning, I pivoted where I was delivering to people stuck at home a pound of my clean Lego bricks with a mystery minifigure, and I was delivering those to people's homes for about $20 a piece. I was doing that for about a month or two, and everything just kept changing. I was trying to figure out what birthday parties would look like at that point, and ultimately decided to just pause it all because I was going to drive myself nuts trying to predict what the next month would be. But during that time, I actually stayed engaged with the business because fortunately, local organizations like E4All and One Berkshire started having webinars for small businesses. And so I kept on learning new skills that I could apply to the business when I reopened. And it really just kept me excited and interested in the business. And then eventually I was able to get a wonderful business mentor who really pushed me to reopen. And her name was Robin Helfand, and she was paid for by the the CDCSB, Community Development Corporation of South Berkshire. And most recently, I've actually been under a grant with PERC, which is the Pittsfield Economic Revitalization Corp., which was also paying for Robin to be my business mentor. And she is really the person who got me from being closed to being open again and thriving after reopening, which is fantastic. Legos for my family, one thing that really solidified our desire to share this with the community is that it's something that we did as parents and kids together. You see the generations building together, and also my generation is one of the first generations that kept playing with toys as we grew up. So it's wonderful because any toys from my childhood still fit with Legos built today. I like to say it's the most mathematically perfect toy ever invented. But we have a lot of fun with it, and it's also something I wanted to show my youngest son that he can do something that he's passionate about as a job, and that really motivated me to keep growing Bottomless Bricks. It's been really interesting to see just how many adults come in here. It's been very validating for me as an adult who builds Lego, but also we find that a lot of the adults who come in are very relieved to find that there's a store like this and that there's a lot of other people in the community who do this. I mean, before the pandemic, there were a lot of adults into Lego, but during the pandemic, it really exploded for two reasons. One is in April 2020, Lego unveiled their Adults Welcome line, so they already were planning on releasing sets geared towards adults when the world shut down. So the timing worked out beautifully for them. And a lot of women especially have now found Lego as a hobby during the pandemic because of the adults collection line, including the botanical collection. So there's flower bouquets, bonsai trees, and really cool sets. There's art sets like Van Gogh's Starry Night. A lot of sets that adults would build and would be able to put up in their own home and not be embarrassed that they have a toy hanging out in their house. And then it's something that I raised two boys, and that's how I got into Lego. And watching the different themes that they were into and the different things they would create and how the two different kids would interact with Lego differently. So my oldest would build a Lego set, immediately take it apart, and build something different. My youngest would build a Lego set, keep it built, make giant action scenes in our city table, and he keeps everything built. And right now he's a teenager, so he's really into the architecture series, which is all these different skylines of different cities. So we have like Dubai, New York City, San Francisco. Those are all a lot of fun. During the pandemic, I did expand my business a little. One thing, just before the world shut down, I was in a program with E for All, which stands for Entrepreneurship for All. So E for All Berkshire County has business accelerator program. I was in their very first cohort when the world shut down, but during my final presentation, I was awarded a grant to purchase a Lego robotics kit because that's something I wanted to do to expand my business. And I got the grant for that. And so one of the things I did during the pandemic was I trained using Lego robotics so that it would be something I'd be able to offer in my business when I reopened. Before the pandemic, we were already having an adult night at the store where we did have people coming out. But since the pandemic, we have, I'd say, about 3 times as many people coming out for our adult nights. So we're trying to run monthly events every month, one of them being a minifigure trading night for kids, which is what we're doing tonight. We're trying to have at least one teen night a month and one night for adult builders to come out. So, for example, when we have our adult night, it's free to participate. It's every final Thursday of the month from 6:30 till 8:30, and adults can bring a set from home that they're working on. Or if they want, they can build with our pile and tables of Lego here. If they want to build on my Lego wall, they can do that. If they want to sort, we have stuff that needs sorting because everyone kind of engages with Lego in their own way, and there's no wrong way to Lego. So we welcome everyone and everyone's building styles here, and we have a pretty good turnout. You know, I get out some chips and some water. We have a good time. When we have a teen night, we generally have a build challenge, and at the end, whoever does the fastest build usually gets a $10 gift card to the store. But we order pizza, and every kid, right now we have the models that kids are building a set that they get to take home. Minifigure trading night is free to participate. It's every third Wednesday of the month from 6 till 7. It's a really great social event for kids. So every kid who comes, they bring a handful of minifigures, which are the Lego people, that they're willing to trade, and we put them on little base plates, and the kids kind of walk around and talk to each other. They have to, if there's something you want on that kid's tray, you have to ask if there's something they would like off your tray and trade. And we also teach kids that no is always a perfectly acceptable answer, so don't trade anything you're not willing to trade. And we're also here on hand to facilitate any trades to make sure everything's fair. And then we also do an adult one, similar to that we do once a quarter. So we'll have some serious Lego minifigure collectors, my husband being one of them, have, quite a few of their like duplicates from the collectible minifigure series, and they'll come out and they'll trade, and that's kind of his favorite night of the month. So there are definitely some valuable minifigures out there. The most valuable minifigure in the market right now is what we call Cloud City Boba Fett from the Star Wars, from the original Cloud City set. That's worth over $1,000. The most valuable minifigure I have in my store right now is a chrome Darth Vader, who's $400. There were only 10,000 made, and they were randomly inserted in 20th anniversary sets back in 2009. And that would be 10th anniversary set, sorry. And yeah, he was super rare and hard to come by, so we have one here, and he's our most valuable minifigure at the moment. I was contacted by a casting agent for season 2 of Lego Masters, and he found me because he was looking on social media for people who build their own things out of Lego. So in the Lego community, we call that a MOC, which stands for my own creation. And I had been building things for the store in Adams as displays for the holidays, and building things to be our build of the month, which you would come in and build something to take home. So I designed a couple little sets. I had like a little baby Yoda set. I had a Minecraft set that I had designed. And they saw that and reached out to me and asked me if I would be interested in auditioning for the show. And I never in a million years thought I was good enough to be on the show, but I really loved the idea of the challenge. So I asked my husband to be my teammate, and we went through the process. We did an interview, we did some builds together and filmed ourselves, and we didn't make it on the show. And my husband was really relieved because he does not want to be on TV. And I was relieved because I knew I wasn't as good as I could be to do well on the show. So I actually spent the whole next year, well, about 8 to 10 months training for season 3. I knew what I wanted to do. I knew where my weaknesses were. So I worked on that. And then when the casting opened up for season 3, a woman that I knew through an online Lego group reached out to me and asked me if I'd want to be your teammate. And we got together that weekend, hit it off beautifully, filled out the application together, and went on that journey together, which was about 2 months long. We started mid-November, and we found out we were cast on the show in late February, and we had to leave in early March. One thing that I got out of the show that carried over into the business was when I reopened, there was already people were aware of me more than they were before. People did remember me from Adams, but having been a local person on a nationally broadcast TV show certainly helped spread the news that I was reopening my business. And also, I am now, within the greater Lego community. So I go to Lego conventions where, as a Lego master, we've done panels and meet and greets, and I get to be like Lego famous when I go to these things. So I'm known more in the larger, broader Lego community now, where before I was not a member of that because I almost didn't really know it existed. We spent about 10 months looking for a new location for Bottomless Bricks. I looked everywhere on North Street. I had some really wonderful landlords who were very excited to have me move in there. But ultimately, I couldn't find everything I wanted, so I found this space. I had to hire a realtor who was absolutely wonderful and managed to get me into this building the day it was purchased by a local investment group. And they have been the most wonderful landlords, and it's been the best experience. They have treated me really well, and I'm very, very happy here. And not only is it closer to where I live, it's literally a mile from where I live. It's also in the neighborhood I grew up in. So my parents live in this neighborhood. And so when I'm taking care of their house and they travel, or if they need help with things, they're a block and a half away from me. So I couldn't ask for a better location. Like, for example, right now I'm part of an exhibit at Boston Children's Hospital called Brick by Brick, where me, my teammate Liz from the show, my castmate Christine, and then Corey from season 1 all have some of our Lego works on display there for the kids. We got to go have a really fun build day. I've done some fun family events with the USO. I'm getting ready for my second year to do a project week with special needs kids at Fenway High School. I've done Day of Play at Morris Elementary for 2 years in a row. I've been at local libraries and done all kinds of events, and it's been amazing to get to live my best Lego life. Well, I've been open less than a year, so I'm still figuring out my seasonality. I will say, though, when I first opened late May, I had no idea what to expect with the retail end of it, because when we were open up in Adams, the retail aspect was a very, very, very small part of our business. But I knew when we reopened, we were going to have a much larger retail store. And that kind of took off right away instead of my birthday parties, which is how I originally started. Birthday parties in the summer aren't really a big seller, but then once the weather started to turn cold and people started to go inside is when we really started to take off with our birthday parties. Our next phase is I'm hoping to have camps during the summer and start having more events in the after-school time frame by the fall. And then ultimately, I want to grow and expand too. I would love to see an expansion where I actually take all of this space that I have right now that is split between my retail store and my party area and make all of that retail store and then have a separate dedicated party area. Because it can get a little noisy in here when we get excited and having fun with a party. And I see the need to have its own separate designated space. I don't know how many parties I've had in a year just yet because I didn't really do a big push in the very beginning. Right now, it's kind of split between parties and community events. So our monthly events are how we're bringing people in the off season and on our slow days. I know January and February were definitely our slowest days, so our slowest 2 months of the year so far. So now I know for next year to really be heavy on the scheduling of events and workshops and things like that going forward. We had a lot of people at the holiday season, and then surprisingly, between Christmas and New Year's, apparently is when everyone takes time off of work and goes through their Lego collection. Because we had a lot of people bring stuff in for buy-sell trade during that time. We're definitely kind of a more niche-y business, but we've had people visiting our store from well over an hour away just to come here because we have certain things you can't find at your standard Lego stores. So when you go to your traditional Lego store, which is owned by the Lego Group, which we are not, we are a mom and pop store. We consider ourselves Lego resellers. When you go to a traditional Lego store, it has, your new sets, it has a wall of parts, a minifigure factory, and that's pretty much it. We focus on community events, parties, parts and pieces and really helping people connect with what they need. So a lot of times we get people come in who are working on their own projects and they're looking for specific parts for it, and we help them with that, either to find them in our bins here or even through our Bricklink store, which is our online store for parts and pieces. Yeah, we're really just here to looking to build a community and creativity and have a lot of fun. So it's more of an experience when you come in here. We always make sure you leave with a bracelet and a sticker and a smile on your face. Since I opened up in 2019, I've learned that there is a franchise that's similar to this business model called Bricks and Minifigs, and they are all over the country actually, but there aren't any around here, thankfully, because I'm happy to have our own little homegrown little Lego store that we've kind of created ourselves. So we've created our, put our logo out there on everything and came up with our own name and had to figure it out from scratch, but it's been an awesome learning experience. I don't have to get permission from Lego to do this, but there's a very fine legal line that I need to walk for sure. Like I have to, when I have these events, I always make sure to include a disclosure that says that we are not sponsored or endorsed by Lego or the Lego group of companies, which owns the trademark. That's similar to when I was on Lego Masters. I had a whole contract that, I had to make sure that I always was keeping the world of Lego separate from my business world and had to walk a fine line. So I try to do that the very best that I can because I have so much love and respect for the Lego group. I never want to do anything to wrong them. The future, I really would love to have a larger store, including an area where we can have a rotating display of seasonal sets or our own designs that people can come in and look at, along with having not just birthday parties, but after school programs, workshops, things during vacation week, have a more dedicated place and more staff so kids can come in and play. Our former business model, we had what we called build and play hours where people could come in and pay by the hour to play in our party zone, but we did not carry that through to our current business model. But I'd like to find a happy medium in the future when we do have a dedicated space for parties and such. Yeah, the Lego group is 90 years old, or 91 at this point, I think. They did start out making wooden toys, and when their factory burned down, they realized wooden toys might not be the best way to go. They were early into the injection plastic molding machines, and that's when they first started with their plastic interlocking bricks, which is what Lego technically is. And it's evolved over the years, but it's all pretty much kept the same math involved, so that older sets from the 60s and 70s will fit with sets from today. There's different groups of Lego people. So as far as train collectors, there are definitely Lego train people, and there are people who collect the Lego train sets, but then there's a lot of people in the train community who are trying to build authentic train sets. So we see some of those folks come in looking for pieces for their creations. There's a lot of people who are trying to rebuy their childhood. So if you grew up in the 80s, you're probably really into classic space. Those are the theme that people loved, or castle. If you grew up later in the late 1999 and later is when they started to come out with these sets that were Star Wars and Harry Potter, and there's a lot of people who collect those. Star Wars is probably our biggest selling theme right now. Everybody loves Star Wars, and there's generations of people who love Star Wars. But they also have the license for Minecraft. They just started with Animal Crossing. They have all kinds of different, intellectual property sets, but there's still your traditional, what we call Lego classic sets, which are just parts and pieces, and you can build whatever you want. Hi, my name is Erin, and I'm the founder of Bottomless Bricks in Pittsfield. Bottomless Bricks is a hub for Lego fans of all ages. Our retail store sells new and pre-owned Lego sets, collectible minifigures, and parts and pieces for your next creation. We also host birthday parties, workshops, and community events for builders of all ages and abilities, and our mission is to promote creativity, community, and ingenuity.